Hey, what is up, guys? It's your boy, Kingdom Soldier, and I'm back again with another commentary. Sorry if you hear some background noise. I felt like I needed to do this commentary, and it's early, and my youngest son, Evan, is home, and he's playing with this really noisy toy, and I tried to take it into the other room, but he picked it up and carried it back in here, so deal with it. I feel like you guys have put me in a position where I need to say something about this whole Keemstar thing. Drama alert. I heard about it when it was going to be launched. I saw it on Twitter. I saw all the information. Everybody thought he might be trolling because MLG didn't say anything. And then it became a reality. And what's happened since then is that some people in the community have kind of stepped up and kind of said, I would have liked to see Kingdom Soldier get this channel instead. And I woke up this morning and I looked at Twitter and I saw Smiting Fatty tweeting, I agree with Golden Boy. Kingdom Soldier should have got an MLG channel. And I was like, when did Golden Boy say that? I must have missed a vid. I watched Golden Boy's videos, so I was like, when did he say that? Did he say it on Twitter? And so he linked me to a video that Golden Boy put up talking about this whole esports drama. And he, at the 5-minute mark, mentioned that he really liked my content and he thought that I was more positive than Keem and that I focused more on actual analyzing of competitive Call of Duty as an esport, and I was interviewing pro players and just basically mentioned that my content would probably be something better for MLG. So the first thing I'm going to tell you guys, let me say this too. Then after that, I go to the COD competitive subreddit where the #1 hot topic is Keemstar getting a channel on MLG.tv. The #2 hot topic is Kingdom Soldier. That was the name of it with an exclamation point. I'm like, what the heck is this? So I go in there and it's basically people debating back and forth. Some people like my content, some people don't, but basically debating about whether or not I should have gotten a channel instead of Keemstar. And that MLG should be trying to work with someone like myself instead of trying to work with Keemstar. And so the first thing I'm going to tell you guys is that I'm not on MLG. I haven't been on an esports report. I haven't been on a bracket show or anything like that because of me, not because of MLG. Puckett and I communicated with each other with another guy, Brian, from MLG about a month and a half ago. And a few things that Puckett said, and I hope Puckett, I'll DM him before I put this out. So a few things that were said is that they really enjoyed my content. Puckett really liked what I was doing on the scene, and he wanted to see me do some things with them. The first thing I did, I'm not going to get specific because I haven't seen the content yet, but I helped with conceptualizing and writing for some content for their channel. And so that was one of the first things I did for them. And then as well, Puckett said that in the future he'd like to have me on. I have turned down 2 invitations to be on the MLG COD channel. I was invited to the bracket show that was Gandhi, Golden Boy, Methods, and Puckett, and I couldn't do it because I was sick then. And then literally yesterday, Puckett invited me to a bracket show for COD Champs, and I said, that Thursday is my busiest day, and I don't have any time to squeeze out of it. And right now, for those of you that don't know, I'm a youth pastor. Now, whether or not you're a Christian or not, most of my subs appreciate my job and what I do, and the reason I do it is because when I was 15, when I was 14, I was running around acting crazy. I had no dad, and I just did whatever I wanted to do, and I got in a lot of trouble. I actually had to move states because of how much trouble I was getting in. And for me, I'm trying to hopefully be someone in a kid's life, in a young kid's life, that can point them in the right direction when they don't have some direction, that can help them to be everything that they were created to be, and that can tell them, hey, you can be anything you want to be. You can climb mountains, you can walk through a valley in your life where things are low, and you can make it out of that, and you can get through it, and regardless of your family circumstances and what's happened in your life, you can make it. And I just, I feel like part of my life purpose is to be that guy, at this time in my life. And so when Puckett asked me what I could do, I was like, well, my time is, I would love to be on the channel. I would love to give you, one of the other things he mentioned is me putting original content on the MLG COD channel, and eventually, coming on an esports report or something like that. And so it is my fault that I'm not on MLG. It is not MLG's fault. I have had the opportunities, and I just haven't been able to take advantage of them. You may still, you may see me on the MLG COD channel eventually, but I just haven't had the time to do it. And I would say that in my mind, one of the reasons, for those of you that don't know my story, one of the reasons that I am where I am is because I have had some shout outs from some pretty big names in the Call of Duty community. Everybody thinks, one of the things I saw on Reddit that kind of drove me crazy is that everybody sees me as this Optic fanboy, and all I talk about is Optic. And yeah, if you go to my channel, my top 4 videos, or my 3 of my top 4 videos are Optic Nade Shot, Optic Scumpy, Optic drops JCap to pick, to keep Scumpy, blah, 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 Optic, Optic, Optic. And, Optic is just a large part of the community. I've made other videos, it's just they're not as popular, and so when you go to my channel, it looks like, oh man, this dude's all about Optic, but I've done videos on complexity, I've done videos on players from every team, I've done JCap and Clayster and Crim6 and Rambo and Proofy, and I've done videos on everybody, and I interviewed Tipsy, and when I was scheduled to interview Imbos, he wasn't an Optic player. He just happened to go to Optic literally after we had already confirmed that we were going to do this interview. And so, but you know what? If you want to call me an Optic fanboy, call me an Optic fanboy. And then as far as Keem goes, I have a respect for Keem as a content creator, because what Keem does is he knows what people want to see, and he gives it to them, and he doesn't care. He doesn't have a filter. The difference between him and me is that I know what people want to see as well, but I have a filter. Somebody on Reddit said I'm the PG version of Keemstar, of DramaAlert. And that may be one way of seeing it, but I just have a filter. I have something in front of me that blocks certain content from coming through, and that's just the way I operate. And you're not going to see cussing and stuff like that on my channel. That's just the way I am. And so I have a certain way of doing things, but at the same time, and I hope Keem doesn't mind me saying it, but when Keem did his Nade Shot interview, he hit me up and asked me to help him with questions, and I was like, sure, and I threw him some questions on Skype, and it helped him with the interview. I got to see some of my questions in the interview, and I wasn't worried about, oh my gosh, I hope Keemstar shouts me out and tells me, and tells everybody that Kingdom Soldier helped me with these questions and blah, blah, blah. That's not what I'm looking for. I am just hoping to be a help for people that need help, and that Nade Shot interview turned out awesome. Like, I really, really enjoyed it. I really liked it. And then I was kind of bitter a little bit. I was like, man, I probably could have got that Nade Shot interview if I would have just asked, but, that's, again, I don't necessarily have all the time to do that. So, in my opinion, if you're looking for consistent content, if you're looking for some guys that should be partnered with MLG that can probably have the time to actually consistently produce content for the channel, I would look at Gandhi and I would look at Golden Boy for the win. Those two guys inform me. Gandhi's video about Anaheim helped me understand what the heck was going on with this MLG Pro League and the free agency stuff and the draft and all that. Gandhi's video helped me out, and I love watching Golden Boy's Golden Nugget. Like, every time I see that, it's like, oh wait, you didn't see the thumb. Every time I see him do the thumb and have that that little sound, that little Golden Nugget sound, it's just so creative and epic. And I still, to this day, I don't really understand why people like Gandhi and Golden Boy have less subscribers than me. I understand that I may have this likable personality or something like that, but I love their content. I love watching. I love what they do. And so I'm going to tell all of you to go subscribe to them. They are consistent Call of Duty esports analysts, and they share their opinions. Now, Golden Boy drifts from game to game a little bit, but the information is still good, the stuff that he talks about. He talks about console wars and everything. And so I would definitely go check out his channel and watch both of those guys. And so I guess what I'm trying to say with this video, guys, is that it's not MLG's fault. They are trying to get me. Yesterday, Puckett DM'd me to be on a show that I just couldn't be a part of because of timing, because Thursday is my busiest day job-wise. And so, I have a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 2-year-old boy. I have a wife who works full-time. I work full-time and mostly in the evenings because my wife works during the day. the windows of time when I can create content are so slim. That's the reason why I have a team of writers. I have 5 writers and a producer for the sticks. So that all I have to do is record this and send it off to the producer, and he does it. And the writers help me with kind of putting the content together. And so that's why I had to do that. Otherwise, the sticks couldn't exist. And that's the reason why it's coming out late sometimes. And one week I missed it. It's just because my life is not in the way. It's just first. You know, I have stuff in my life that I have to put first. I got to put my kids first. I got to put my wife first. I got to put my job, my ministry first, because I love doing it, you know. And I love creating content. I love entertaining you guys. But it is not MLG that is preventing Kingdom Soldier from having a channel on MLG. It's Kingdom Soldier. And we'll see what happens with Keem. My personal opinion, you know, and Keem and I talk back and forth sometimes. My personal opinion is that it's going to get views, DramaAlert, but even the first couple of videos that I saw him talk about in the last 2 days, I was just like, this is the kind of stuff that if I was MLG, I would stay away from. For what we're trying to do in the Call of Duty community right now, for all the leaps and bounds and steps they're making, being associated on a consistent basis and hosting a show like DramaAlert may be a little much, you know, when he's talking about Scumpy and Clayster's girlfriend and all this kind of stuff. You know, it may be a little much for Major League Gaming to associate with. It would be like if they had an NBA, it would be like if Basketball Wives was on NBA TV. You know, that'd just be kind of weird. You know, it would just be kind of awkward if you went to NBA.com and you see, you know, NBA TMZ, you know, and they're reporting on the drama between Lamar Odom and whatever Kardashian he's married to. You know, it's just, there's, and I know drama's taking over the news scene right now. Like, that's, you watch the regular news and it's like, you know, you're hearing about pop stars and Miley Cyrus and stuff like that. And so it is what it is, in the words of my boy, the Jesus Freak. So I hope that this is explained what's going on and that there's no beef between me and Keem and that MLG has literally stretched out a hand. And I hope you guys aren't mad that I haven't been able to grab the hand and take a hold of it and do something with it. But MLG has said with open arms, hey, you know, come on our channel, you know, and give us some content, you know, pitch us some original content that can go on the MLG COD channel. Because they asked me what I wanted from them to help them out, and I said exposure. You know, I said that's all I want. You know, it's like literally all I want is exposure. I'm not trying to get paid. I'm not trying to, just exposure. You know, and the exposure that I'll get is I have to give them some content, and they've offered me times to come on the channel and sit and talk with Gandhi and Golden Boy and all these guys about competitive gaming, and so. I apologize to you guys that I haven't been able to take advantage of MLG's offers, but I hope this clears everything up. Let's get right to the next video. This is your boy Kingdom Soldier, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.